house cleaning first, just any lineup changes?
Not that I'm aware of.
And goalie, Igor?
Yep.
Kind of now that you've played yourself back into the playoff picture, I mean, what's the message inside the room? Is it about building your game now? Is it just all about the points, or just what's the focus and the message in the room now that you're in it again?
I think we've done a pretty good, excuse me, pretty good job of just focusing on the game that we're playing and the points that are available, and trying to play the best version of our game to collect those points. And I think for the most part, you know, even in some of the games that we didn't win, I think we've done that, and so that's where we're at. I mean, nothing changes for us going into tonight. We know we're playing a real good team. It's had a great year, and we've got to bring the best version of ourselves.
How have you seen Mika's game come along this month in particular, maybe in comparison to November?
I think he's playing really confident right now. You know, I think that line has drawn some tough assignments. I think they've done a pretty good job with that. They're on the attack. I think that from a defensive standpoint, they've quieted down and been pretty good against playing against top lines. And then offensively, I still see them attacking the production. So
you've split up him and Kreider before, but this has been one of the longer stretches of it. How do you feel Kreider's looking with kind of the younger guys, you know, Cali up on the third line?
Yeah, I mean, I think the line's played well. They're all contributing some offense, some goals. They've all chipped in a couple, and I think the line's been good. It gives us good balance. I like the role of the four lines right now. We've found a decent amount of success with the lines that we've used, so I'm not going to change the lines right now.
With using Mika's line, Mika and those guys more of the shutdown, was that a coaching decision of a concerted effort to do that more in the last month, or is that something that maybe why wasn't it as much earlier?
So I believe it probably was if you check the numbers, and I think shutdown is the wrong term for it.
Okay.
He's not there to shut somebody down. I believe that they're all pretty good two-way players, and we want them on the attack, and we would like to see them, you know, outchance and outscore the opposition. Excuse me. Outscore and outchance the opposition when they're on the ice. So I don't know if shutdown, I think you think of that sometimes in a defensive role, but they're all, you know, those are all penalty killers. Those are all guys that are out late in the game when we're up, guys that I think see the game pretty good from a defensive standpoint, and we want to see them on the attack. We'd like to see them, like I said, that if they could be +2 at even strength tonight, that's great. There's no restrictions on them. There's no regulations with what they can and can't do versus certain lines. So I don't know if shutdown's a good term for them. I think just they play against other teams' top lines because I think they're fairly responsible defensively.
With the you've had a pretty settled lineup for a while now, and the guys that aren't in it are working hard when they're not playing, obviously. But a guy like Zack Jones, who's sat out for a number of games in a row, is there a point where maybe he would need to go down and get some conditioning down in the minor leagues or anything like that, or is he just going to be here for a while?
Those things are discussed between Drew and myself, and what's best for the team right now. We need him here. He's part of our team, and he's played good minutes for us. And if needed on, I know he'll go in and do a good job. But right now, he's needed here.
We haven't asked you this in a while, I feel like, but have you seen anyone emerge a little bit more as a leader in the past 2 months? You know, obviously with the departure of Jacob and no one wearing the C, but have you felt anyone step up in that role?
I think the guys that are especially going through this last month and finding success when we needed to, the guys both on the ice and in the locker room that, you know, for me, are identified as leaders, I think have done a really good job. I think Ryan Lindgren, through his play, has come back and really provided some good leadership inside of our team based on what he's been doing on the ice. I think Trocheck always jumps in and helps out with leadership. But I think you got to have the guys in the room and on the ice doing the right things and coming to work and in the room, on the ice, making sure we're ready to play. I think the guys have done a pretty good job. I think they're all up and out.
think Edstrom played 11 games last season, but where have you seen him take the biggest strides in his game this season?
He's been that line's been really good. I mean, he's been a responsible player for us. I like his size. I like his reach. I like his physicality. The fact that that line has been pretty good defensively, and they've chipped in offensively. That line's been really good. So again, we haven't made any of the changes on the guys that you're talking about just because we like the way we've been playing as of late. Not to say that other guys couldn't do it, but Adams had a good year in his first real regular crack at it. I think he's had a pretty